Jones, and I am the New York representative of Blacks in Law Enforcement of America. And today, our organization and other Black and Latino law enforcement professional organizations throughout the state of New York stand here today and support Shelley Mayer for the Democratic nominee for New York State Senate District 37. And we also are giving a message to our communities throughout Westchester County that is in the 37th District that Tuesday, April 24th is a special election. We cannot forget to come out. It's not an everyday thing just to go to work and come home. We got to remember to go to the voting booths and vote for Shelley Mayer. Shelley Mayer has served the community throughout Westchester County and the state through being Assistant Attorney General, Chief Counsel to the state of New York Senate Democrats, New York State Assembly, and a member of the 90th Assembly District. And it's very important that we make sure that Shelley gets this seat because we need the Democrats to remain in control of the New York State Senate. There have been numerous legislations, and I have a list here that because of the rogue Democrats and Democrats want to do their own thing, that created a vacuum in the leadership that we need Shelley to make sure that she has this seat so we could have the leadership up in the state Senate. Now, there's different pieces of legislation, but as law enforcement professionals, we know that housing, criminal justice, wages, all of this is part of public safety. And that's why we're standing here. It's very important that we move forward and we support Shelley and we support the Democrats in the state Senate so these common sense legislations can pass. So I'm not standing here alone. We have other organizations that are here. We have Brooke Jones, who's the president of the Westchester Correctional Association. We have Charles Walker, who's the president of the Yonkers Guardians Association. Julio Diaz, president of the National Latino Officers Association. Charles Phillips, who's the president of the Grand Council Guardians Association. And Cynthia Turnquest Jones, who's the founder of the Brown Urban Mothers Partnership. And we also have support from Hector Lopez, the president of the Westchester Hispanic Officers Association. Paul Hood, the president of the Westchester Rockland Guardian Association, and also Tasha Young, co-founder of the Westchester Black Political Conference. First, I would like to call Charles Walker, president of the Yonkers Guardians Association.
Thank you. I'll be brief, but today we want the Yonkers Guardians come out and just lend our support to Shelley Mayer, who would be serving the city of Yonkers, and with a number of concerns that we have facing our community. We look forward to working with her and alongside her and assisting her in any way we can help. So you definitely have our support. Thank you.
So much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Next, we have Brooke Jones, who is the president of the Westchester Correctional Association.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to say Westchester Correctional Association is in full support of Shelley Mayer, the Senate, and I wish you the best of luck. And when you do get elected, we look forward to working with you as well.
Have that commitment.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Next up is Julio Diaz, president of the National Latino Officers Association.
The National Latino Officers Association is here in support of the Democratic nominee, Shelley Mayer, for New York State Senate District 37. We are here because we need a voice for law enforcement and Latino communities in Albany. We have many members in our organization with different law enforcement agencies, and we vote as an organization. Those votes will go to Shelley Mayer. The NLOA is here to endorse and support Shelley Mayer for New York State Senate. Si se puede. Thank you very much.
And next up is Charles Phillips, Grand Council Guardians Association.
Good afternoon. I'm chairman of the Grand Council of Guardians. And on behalf of Ms. Myers, what Damon said earlier is important. It's about affecting change. It's about bringing back some normalcy here in New York State. Over the last several years, for a while now, things has changed from one extreme to the next, to where you have politicians being locked up, to those who are swinging totally to the left and not concerning the people of the communities. It is important because this area up here, which encompasses Yonkers, probably Mount Vernon, and other area in New Rochelle, it is important because of the large numbers of people of color that lives in these areas. So we are here to support and endorse you in the idea of supporting the change that's going to affect a better working and living condition for all our people up here in this area. And that's what's missing and that's what's lacking. And hopefully with this change here now, you can also affect some positive bills that can be affected to make those changes last even longer. So on behalf of the Grand Council, which I represent over 24 different guardian groups, we are going to enforce our members who do live up here in this area to make sure they vote on your behalf. So we here as again to support, and hopefully things will work out well and we'll all go down that road with you together. Thank you.
And next up, we have Cynthia Turnquest Jones, founder of the Brown Urban Mothers Partnership. And I want to make this clear, the Brown Urban Mothers Partnership works with mothers that have lost their children to gun violence. So she works hand in hand with organizations like ourselves. And I thought it was important for have her come and speak on behalf of a lot of the mothers who lost their children for gun violence.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Damon, for that introduction. Shelley is a part of the Lives Mattering for our children who attend schools. She was a part of the march, and the march is not for them to just get rid of AR-15s. The march is for common sense laws. And as a mother, and as fathers as well, we know that it is extremely important that we have common sense laws when it comes to individuals being able to obtain a weapon that is used by law enforcement. So we welcome Shelley.
Thank you.
We support you, and we're also very pleased that you were on the ground marching with mothers and children and fathers who know that common sense laws in regards to weapons is very much needed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I'd like to call up Darren Green, who's the president of Blacks in Law Enforcement of America, Long Island chapter.
Good morning, good afternoon, I should say. It is a pleasure to be here in support of Shelley running for this seat that is so needed, you know, for the Democrats. We stand consolidated today as law enforcement. You know, Long Island has its own set of issues, and on Long Island there are a particular set of races that are just as key to these races. And, you know, we like to just, you know, let Shelley know we give our full support from Long Island.
Thank you so
know,
much.
because it
I
is
really
such a
appreciate it.
necessary thing to be a part of this. So as we move forward collectively together within law enforcement, we know how important the issues are that are obtained as we look around the country today and looking at how important, you know, the guns that are happening with all these active shooter situations. We need common sense laws. We need people to support those laws. We need people to stand up. We need people to be willing to fight the fight. And we know that if we would not be here supporting you, we did not think that you would be the person to be willing to fight that fight. So on behalf of that, we thank you.
Thank you so much.
And without further ado, Shelley Mayer, the candidate for New York State Senate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Damon, and thank you to all of you. I feel very humbled, really, and honored to be endorsed by each of your collective organizations to have you here today. This race is as important as you said, Damon. This race is about the future of whether the state Senate will be led by Democrats, whether Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins will be the leader, and whether we can start making the kind of change that we need to make. I'm very proud to have been the assembly person from Yonkers. I'm very proud to have stood up about diversity while I protect law enforcement and honor the work that you do. Too often, our communities of color have been left behind in this conversation, and our officers of color have not been enough part of the conversation. And that's not right. We can move forward on addressing gun violence, for example, with common sense gun laws. And I have 4 of them that I sponsor in the Assembly. They're going to pass in the Assembly. Until we get a Democratic Senate, they won't pass in the Senate. So the time is now to do that. This morning, I was with a number of students from New Rochelle High School, going to Albany, taking this day to again honor the memory of those killed at Columbine and keep the pressure on about gun violence. At the same time, the issues of the law enforcement community, particularly officers of color that are represented here today, your own issues must be part of the conversation. Your own relationships with the communities you serve, your own issues of pensions and benefits and the things that matter in your work life have to be part of the conversation. I've been a strong supporter of law enforcement all my life. I honor and respect what you do and how dangerous it is what you do every day. Most of us don't really understand the risk you take in each of your jobs. I think that none of us outside of law enforcement really understand what the risks are. But you have stepped up into this sector of providing protection and ensuring that we are a nation of laws. And I care about that. But the fact is we need people, as you said, who have courage, who are not afraid. And I've been in a very rough race here because, frankly, the Republicans are desperate about this seat. And they've thrown everything they can, every charge they can. It doesn't matter because the voters know what is important. What's important is that you stand up for principle, that you have courage, you don't back down, that you recognize the challenges of working people, particularly of the diverse communities in our community, whether it's Yonkers or New Rochelle, White Plains, Portchester, or in our prisons and in our correctional facilities. We have challenges, and if we walk away from acknowledging the issues of race in our community, we are simply putting our head down. We need to talk about them, acknowledge them, deal with them, while we respect what you do and address the problems you have. So I'll be on your side. I'm the kind of person, you'll have my cell phone, you'll call me, you tell me what you think, and I will call you and ask for your advice. I look forward to being informed. I look forward to being a fighter on the issues we care about, and I so appreciate and respect what you do every day, all of you, and the organizations you represent. Thank you very much, and I look forward to a good day on Tuesday.
Yes.
The people will speak. We don't have to let the outside people speak. The people who live in the district, who actually cast their votes, who know what life is like and how it can be better, those are the people I have faith in. And I believe they will speak on the right side, on our side. And they understand that we have a better society when we embrace diversity, when we step up to the challenge and talk about the difficult issues, and when we respect those who are here to protect the rule of law. So thank you all so very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.